Resource assignment changes come in all shapes and sizes. You can add or remove resources from a task, change the task duration or work, or adjust the percentage of time resources devote to a task. You can change task types and the values you enter for duration, work, and units to get the changes you want. The task usage view is a great way to see what's going on with assignments. If you don't see it, go to the View tab and just click Task Usage. I'm also going to turn on the task form. So on the View tab, turn on the Details checkbox, and the task form appears in the bottom of the window. I'm going to drag the divider down so I can see all the tasks in the top half of the window. Now, when you work with assignments, you want to see more than work and duration. Specifically, you want to see assignment units and peak. So I'm going to insert those columns. Right-click the header, choose Insert Column, and then choose the peak field. So now I see all of the fields that I need for these assignments. One thing to keep in mind, up here in the task units, I've added assignment units. Well, down in the task form, there's a label of units, but that field is still assignment units. So let's take a look at task 1. In this task, duration, work, and units all seem to play nicely together. For example, the work is 40 hours, the duration is 5 days. So as you would expect, 40 hours is 8 hours a day, so the assignment units is 100% or full time. That all makes sense. In addition, if I decide to increase the duration, let's say 6 days, the assignment units are still 100% and the work increases to 48 hours. The peak field is actually a calculated field. It represents the maximum allocation on an assignment. So to see how that works, let's look at task 2. And let's say that the resource assigned to task 2 works 10 hours the first day. So over in the grid on the first day, I type 10 hours. And when I press enter, you see that the peak units change. The peak units are now 125% because 10 hours is 125% of a full workday. However, the assignment units are still 100%. That was what you assigned originally, and if you extended this task, you'd really want that resource assigned at that same 100%, not the 125%. So if I change the work hours to 50 hours, you can see that that's exactly what Project does. The additional hours are still assigned at 8 hours a day. The peak field is also a factor if you use task types. Now, task types tell Project what value you want to keep fixed. Down in the task form, you can see fixed units is the task type for this task, and that's the default. And that tells Project that you want to keep the units the same. Well, let's go to task 3. Task 3 is a fixed work task. You can see that down in the task form in the task type box. And that tells Project that you want to keep the work the same. So in this case, let's say I change the duration to 10 days. Well, Project changes the duration, but you can see that the work stays the same at 40 hours. So what changes is the peak units. The resource was originally assigned at 100%, but now with this change in duration, the peak goes to 50% because the resource only has to work 4 hours a day, or 50% of the time, to get it done in that duration. Now let's look at task 4. This is a fixed duration task, and that tells Project that the duration is going to stay the same. So what happens if I change the work to 60 hours? The duration is 5 days, but now the work is up to 60 hours, and that means that the peak units go to 150% because this resource has to work 12 hours a day to get the work done in 5 days. Now, if you've worked with Project for a while, if you look at the task form, it might actually be a little confusing because duration, work, and units don't seem to be following its typical formula. The duration is 5 days, the units are 100%, and the work is 60 hours. Well, the reason for the confusion is because this unit cell is the assignment units. If you extend the duration of the task, Project's going to use the 100% units for the additional part of the task. But it's peak units that's really calculating the 5 days and 60 hours. Another thing to notice is this green triangle, and that represents a smart tag. So if you make a change to a task, you'll see that the Smart tag asks you what you want to do. Just point to the triangle, and then you can see you have some choices. So click the down arrow. In this case, I increased the work, so Project automatically selects the option to increase the hours resources work per day. But if what you really intended to do was increase duration, just select the other option. I'm going to keep this one selected. If a change doesn't do what you want, go up to the Quick Access toolbar and click Undo, and then just try again. Assignment units, the peak field, and task types help you change resource assignments and get the results you want. Project Smart tags are another way to tell the program what you're trying to do when you modify a task.